Hello everyone. So today we will discuss Droit system. Okay, under this topic, first we will discuss the evolution and the background of such system. Secondly, we will discuss the meaning of Droit administration. Thirdly, we will discuss the meaning and role of Counseil d'Etat. Fourthly, we will discuss the major principles of Droit administration. Fifthly, we will discuss criticism of the Droit system and then effectiveness of Droit system. Okay, so these are the subtopics that we will cover under the Droit administration. So let's begin with the historical background. In late 18th century, when Napoleon became the Consul General and took over the power of French administration system of justice, he brought remarkable changes in the system. Because before him, to exercise the judicial powers in France, there was King's Court, namely Council du Roi, which role was usually to advise the king. Other courts, on the other hand, were neglected, and the salary of these people who were working there was also dependent on the fee collected by these courts. Okay, so it was, you can say, unpredictable. Over a period in time, the King's Court started interfering in the government's programs and schemes. Hence, Napoleon brought major changes, namely to usher in as quickly as possible socio-economic movements in the country, and in this process, if there is any dispute between an individual and the government departments, it should be decided as quickly as possible. Likewise, the court was disallowed from putting a spanner in the wheels of administration. Okay, so the king's powers were curtailed and the king's court was almost abolished. Okay, and it was done by whom? By Napoleon. Okay, the special courts, instead of king's court, the special courts had been established to expeditiously dispose the matter pending by this system. Okay, so now you got the overall idea how the Droit system developed. Okay, who was the person behind that? It was Napoleon. But still I believe you have some confusion regarding the meaning of Droit, what actually it means, isn't it? So now let's check out what the meaning of Droit. In common language, Droit administration is defined as the body of rules which regulate the relations of the administration or of the administrative authority towards private citizens. See how directly it involving with the private citizens and the administrative bodies. Okay, so this system has curtailed the role of judiciary, and this is why we need to study under the heading of administrative law, isn't it? Now got the point? Now you can link the Droit system with the topic administrative law, isn't it? Okay, so now the next subtopic that we have, that is the role of Counseil d'Etat. During the Napoleon's period, as we have discussed, such system is developed by the Napoleon. The highest administrative court that he set up named as Counseil d'Etat. Okay, so it was the highest court. So the role of Counseil d'Etat was to resolve the dispute, if any arises, between the private individual and government departments. Besides, the Counseil d'Etat had the duty of acting as general legal advisor to the government and to the individual ministers. So prima facie it had two roles. Okay, to resolve the dispute and to advise, right? Now the next subtopic that we have, that is the principles of Droit administration. Following are the major principles of Droit administration. The first one is the power of administration to act suo motu and to impose directly on the subject the duty to obey its decision. Okay? Secondly, the power of administration to take decisions and to execute them suo motu. See, I am repeatedly using the word suo motu. May be exercised only within the scope of the law, which protects individual liberties against administrative arbitrariness. See how the administrative system was working at that time during the late 18th century. Keep in mind. So, under the Droit system, there was direct relationship between the administrative body and the individuals, or you can say the citizens. Okay, and though this system has given the power to make certain rules, regulation, and policies, or something like that, suo motu, and directly impose on the city. Okay, but it shouldn't be arbitrary, and that has to be reasonable. Okay, so the last principle of Droit administration was the existence of a specialized administrative jurisdiction. One speaks of administrative jurisdiction because his decision relates to the superior control of the Council de State, either by means of appeal. So, the Droit administration beautifully designed that made the direct relationship between the administrative authorities and the people. Okay, and that given certain amount of freedom to the people, they can claim their rights and their interest and everything. So these are the principles of Droit administration. Now the next subtopic we have, that is effectiveness of Droit. Well, following are some of the significant points that prove the effectiveness of Droit. The first point is doctrine of legitimate expectation, wherein the court recognized due governmental liability in case the promises to the citizens were not honored. Okay, so whatever the promises that government committed, if that was not honored, not fulfilled, then who will be responsible? Government will be responsible for that. Okay, and the respective action will be taken, okay, on this account. So this system proves that how much it was effective. Okay, the second one is doctrine of proportionality. In this case, as mentioned in your book, that is the classical definition of proportionality has been given by Lord Diplock in R.V. Goldsmith 1983, when his lordship rather ponderously stated, you must not use a steam hammer to crack a nut if a nutcracker would do. Okay, what does it mean? See, next sentence will answer that. Hence, proportionality broadly requires that government action must be no more intrusive than is necessary. Hence, proportionality broadly requires that government action must be no more intrusive than is necessary to meet an important public purpose. Okay, so whatever the requirement is, government needs to do only that much, not too much. Okay, so based on the requirements, government should make the policy, government should take the action. So in proportion, that doctrine itself defines. Okay, and the last one is doctrine of governmental liability. Basically, it determines that on what basis the government will be held responsible for the violation of another's right. Okay, such liability is based on the twin assessment of fault and risk. Okay, so everything is so beautifully designed that this system becomes so effective at that point in time. And many other countries also start following that, as it ensured the individual freedom, individual rights, right? Okay, so now if we discuss something about the criticism, though Droit system was so effective as we have discussed, but there are certain criticism, but that criticism again led to its advantages that we will discuss. Okay, so it was Professor A.V. Dacey who criticized the Droit system of administration as being a system where no justice was possible, while in theory Dacey's denial appeared reasonable. What this sentence is saying, that though he repudiated the system, but this act was reasonable. However, in practice, just pay attention. However, in practice, it is often rightly pointed out that this system of justice was far more efficient than its contemporary common law system. Though it was criticized, but at that point in time, this system was far more efficient than its contemporary common law systems. Moreover, in 1872, the government passed a decree known as the Blanco Decree, by which this Council de Etat was made an independent system of court, where direct filing of cases as well as open hearings were allowed. See, it made more effective, more approachable, right? Hence, a speedy administration was a characteristic of Droit, and an institution was created by the name of Tribunal Desk Conflict, which was to decide where different types of cases were to go, whether to the civil law court or to the administrative law court. So the system itself was so nice that every aspect at that point in time covered. Okay, so this is all about the Droit system, where we have discussed everything, starting with the background, meaning, the principles, okay, the effectiveness, and also the criticism. Okay, so I believe you must understood the meaning of Droit system. However, if you have any confusion, then of course, like all videos, in this video I will also request you to go and watch it again. So wish you good luck and see you in next video.